Okay, here we go. We are going to go ahead and do another block, and this one's going to have directional fabric in it. So I have cut some script pieces, and you can see that I would want them to lay in the plus area just like so. These are also directional pieces, so I'm going to want them to line up like this. Okay, so we're going to go ahead and first we're going to snowball our corners on our 4 pieces. And you can see I got these right next to the selvage on the fabric because I was not wasting scraps. So normally I wouldn't do that. I wouldn't include those in a quilt, but it's kind of cute fabric. Now if you watched before, I showed you you can mark this, or you can just press it, finger press it, and get yourself a little crease there. And then line it up in the corner. We're just going to snowball these blocks on only 2 sides. So you're going to need 8 of your background pieces. This white is my background. And those will go right in the corners. And you will see this is such a quick block. You can have so much fun with it too. Mix up your fabrics. This will be for a Christmas one, and I will do a Halloween one after, just to kind of show you what that could look like. And on that one I will mix up some fabrics. We'll have a little fun with it. Okay, that's one side done. Okay, got those. Now we're going to go ahead and take this and we're going to do the same thing on the opposite side. Okay, we don't have to snowball all 4 corners, just 2 of them. So that makes it go even faster. Yeah, so I'm excited. It sounds like the guys are here to move the shed. We've got a boom truck coming out today to move our shed over to our garden, which I'm pretty excited about. We'll have a nice little garden shed over there now. I got my gardening kind of late this year, and I'm hoping that I get some good crops. The weather's been pretty warm, so it's been in the 80s and 90s here, so we should get something out of the garden this year. I didn't plant as much as I wanted to. I just was too busy. Okay, there we go. We've got that all done. And we'll just trim those, clip them. These are great. If you don't have one of these, you can just use the side of your sewing machine too. It's just works just as well, but they're nice to have. Okay. And it's a good way to make use of your blades that might have a nick in them, but they're still plenty sharp to cut a thread, that's for sure. Okay. I got tight quarters here, so we're just gonna do the best we can. I still have to put the binding on my daughter-in-law's quilt that I made for her. I made that large tsunami quilt. It's a California king size, and I've got the binding made for it, but it's just gonna have to wait a bit. I'm gonna take the machine upstairs and do it on the dining room table so I have room to support that large of a quilt. It's heavy because I put Minky on the back of it, so it's got a nice weight to it. Okay, there we go. We are cut. Now we're going to go ahead and we're going to finger press these open to the dark side. So if you're doing your blocks, that's what you want them to look like when they're done, just like that, okay? And I'll give those a little press with the iron before we carry on, but just go ahead and finger press them open. I like to finger press things open because it's good to make sure your seam is open all the way. One of the things that I find as a long armor is sometimes people don't open their seam all the way, and if I'm not using a spoon foot on my long arm, it can catch in that little spot and create havoc, and we don't want that. So I'll just give these a little press. I know this is out of camera range, but you know what pressing a block looks like, I am sure. We've already finger pressed it, so we know it's where it needs to be. Okay, I'll give this one a little hit. Okay, there we go. Everybody's happy. Okay, we've got our 4 corners done. Now, we're going to go ahead and lay this out. Now, this is going to be, I'll lay it out upside down for me, just so it makes sense for you. Okay. I want all my words to make sense. So when they're in this block, I want all of them to read like you would read, just like that. Okay? And then I'm going to put these pieces just where they need to go. So the first thing I'm going to do is I'm going to take and fold that up, and I know that I have my piece in the right order, like this. I'm going to fold this up, and I'm going to stitch along that edge. Okay, so line those up, and we're going to put that through the machine using, again, a 1/4 inch stitch. Okay, this one I'm going to fold down, and I'm going to stitch across this top edge here. Okay. This block is so that you understand how to do a directional fabric in your block. Okay, we're going to fold this one over here, just like this. Then we're going to take this out. Those 2 are fine, they're done. Now, again, I want my words to read, and I want my piece to be going the same direction as this one. So there it is. We're going to flip it over, and we're going to stitch along that edge. So I would really appreciate, and go ahead and finger press these to the dark fabric. I would really appreciate your feedback. Please leave a comment on the video. Tell me if you can see what you need to see in the video. If there's any suggestions you have for me about my recording, my filming, that would be appreciated. I like to tell people I'm going to be 72 this year, and it's like this is a new learning experience for me, and so I'm trying my best. Okay, there we go. Okay, so we've finger pressed that to the dark fabric. Now we're going to go ahead and place our blocks the way we want them so they make an X. I didn't use a lot of different fabrics in this one because I didn't want to get it too confusing visually. Just this is the part I wanted to illustrate using directional fabrics. Okay, I'm going to take this and fold it over just like we did last time, and I'm going to run that through the machine. Again, use a 1/4 inch on seam allowance on all of these. Now this one, I'm going to go ahead and flip it over. We're going to leave the center piece alone for just a minute. Okay. Now, we're going to take this is our piece for the bottom. I'm going to press my fabric with my fingers so that it goes in to that center part of the plus. And I know all my words are still reading in the same direction. Everything looks, there's the X, there's the plus, okay? Now I'm going to take this and I'm going to fold it over, bring it over the top, and I'm going to attach it to that last piece in the corner there. Okay, that one's done, and we will go ahead and finger press it to the center, okay, just like that. We're going to do this top piece now, fold it over. And you know, always take your time and always check, make sure that if you're using a script, that it reads the way you want it to. If you're using a directional fabric, that it's laying in the direction that you want it to. Okay, again, we're gonna do this, and we want to make sure we've got everything where we want it to be, and we do. I'm going to give these a quick press because I like everything to be nice and flat before I carry on. Okay, that's one. And this will be the other. All right, there we go. Now, all our words are still reading the same. We have all our directional pieces the way we want them. We see the X, we see the plus. Now I'm going to fold this piece up, and I'm going to stitch this to the center strip. So we've done that. We're going to press this to the center strip. Okay, so I'm going to do that real quick with the iron. I know I'm out of shot, so that's okay. All right, now here comes our tricky part. Again, I'm going to set this one up here, and I'm going to turn this piece over, the piece that has the plus already attached to it, the center piece. I'm going to line my ruler up with this seam that goes right here, and I'm going to make a little notch at the top there with a marking device. This is a Sewline Air Erase pen, and I love these. They just do a great job for me. Okay, but any marking device you have will be fine. Now again, go ahead and make sure everything's lining up and reading the way you want it. Flip your piece over, and you're going to line up with those seams right there, okay? And then just tuck a pin in. It doesn't have to be in the seam. It can just be to hold and secure that in place. Then you know you've got your X lined up, okay? Your plus lined up. There we go. Okay. Okay, there we are, and I'm going to press this, finger press it to the center, and then I'll give it a press with the iron real quick here, and you will see we have a beautiful, and there's our block, just like that. You saw we made the patriotic block before. When the blocks go together, what you're going to want to line up is these two pieces right here. So when you do your seams, you're gonna line up those seams so that they join properly, and then you'll have a little triangle in between. You can sash them. It really looks interesting when you don't sash it. It creates a whole nother grid, like a lattice work almost, in the whole quilt. So if you can at all avoid sashing, I would suggest that you do that. And isn't that fun? You can just make a quick block, and look at that. I'm going to do a whole quilt that's in Christmas colors, and I think this will just be a fun quilt. So, oh, you want to know the size of the block, what it finishes up to. Okay, so it finishes up to be an 8-inch block before you put it in your quilt. So it'll be 7.5 inches when it's finished, because you'll take out a 1/4 inch seam allowance on each side when you put your blocks together. So it's an 8-inch block that finishes up at 7.5 inches inside your quilt. Okay, thanks a lot for hanging out with me today, and give us a like. Please, as I said, give us a comment, and let us know what you thought. Okay, thank you.